Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just Photo. I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we did, we continued the MSQ after a ridiculous amount of time. And in this episode we are gonna go, like since we last episode learned about Moggles summoning some freaking deity, we are now gonna be dealing with that deity. Yeah, because that's what we do, we kill gods. Or something similar to a god. Hello. Welcome, Lynn, welcome. That you should be the one to face Good King Moggle Margaret XII is of great comfort. To me and to the elementals both. As I'm sure you know, the Moggles are not by their nature a warlike race. Yet should the king be suffered to remain, it is likely that his influence would bring about a change in them. Thus it behooves us to defeat him quickly, before any lasting damage is done. Make whatever preparations you deem necessary, and inform me when you are ready to seek the king. You have selected regicide. The wards barring access to the king's sanctuary can only be nullified through the use of enchanted keystones. The self-same method employed 5 years ago when first the king was summoned to Eorzea. It was with great regret that we were forced to sanction the slaying of the guardians who were then held the keystones, for none were in our possession at the time. By the grace of the elementals, however, we have been spared that burden on this occasion. Kupalokop confided in me that he had been entrusted with a set of keystones by the Moggle's guard himself. Yet, wishing not to betray their confidence, he begged me to find other means to gain entry to the king's sanctum. Alas, I have been unable to do so, and dare not labor any longer, for fear that the Moggles might succumb to the corrupting influence of their liege lord. You must needs have Kupalokop's keystones. Then, pray go to him and beg his assistance. He awaits you at West Shore Pier. Impress upon him our great need, and I am certain he will yield. Tofungs. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you name your character that? That's image. Jesus. How could you do this? So, how would you do it, Kupo? Oh, he told you about that. Well, if there truly is no other way, I'll do it, Kupo. Take the ferry to Sweet Bloom Pier. I'll go on ahead. Sweet Bloom Pier. Yes. Hello? Ah, those are huge. That's a huge boy. Don't you dare lie to me, Kupo. I know what you're planning, and I won't allow it. Open your eyes, Kupo. The king will never be satisfied, no matter how many crystals you bring him. We offered you a choice, and this is how you repay us? By consorting with this Aura? Imperials, Gridalians, Sylphs, you're no different from the rest of them. Actually, you're worse, Kupo. Traitor to his king's Moogle, he plots treason against the crown. Enough. Kupalokop will answer for his crimes soon enough, as will all who defy the good will of good King Moggle Margaret XII. May he reign forevermore, Kupo. The king is planning to purge the falsehood of his enemies, Kupo. We've got to stop him before it's too late. The entrance to Thorn March is deep within the Bramble Patch, Kupo. If you take me there, I can nullify the ward. But be warned, the Moggle's guard has set traps to lure enchanted beasts. I can't hide from them, so you'll need to protect me, Kupo. Escort, should you fail to... What? Really? I have to escort this dude? Is he gonna follow me around? Okay. Well, at least that's something, I guess. You sense a hostile presence, Kupo. Kupo! I never... That's cool. I need to type something in a minute. There's most likely gonna be another enemy. Don't leave me, Kupo. Kaboom. Whenever I want to like type something. There we go. You sent your house all better. I totally forgot this was even a thing. But also I have not done this content in like a year? Probably. Don't let them hurt me, Koopa, or somebody else is here. Oh no. Not like this. Kill the children. What? How? What? Who did I just blasted a random tree in the back. That's unfortunate. Alright, Moggle boy. There's more ceilings. Oh well. We're here, do you not see any boosties? Okay, there we go. Are you ready to face the king, Kupo? Then step closer to the ward. Raise your hand and focus. Like when you tune to an aetheryte, Kupo, I'll open the way for you. Oh. The rest is up to you, Kupo. Now go and teach those foolish Moogles a lesson and send the king back whence he came. Nod. Thornmarch Hard, now accessible. Every trial from this point onward is going to be like on hard difficulty, quote unquote. It's like an 8-man thing. Okay. I guess I could technically go with a DPS, but it's probably going to take longer. I'll go and just go in as a white mage, whatever. Alright, Thornmarch. Let's go and remove that one. And join Thornmarch. And hope that it pops relatively soon, otherwise I may need to call for help. I'm gonna be right back. There we go. It's time to kick some ass! Or get my ass kicked. Bum, 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 bum. This freaking music is so good. This fight is intriguing. The normal mode is not really that crazy, I guess. But the extreme version of this fight is intriguing for sure. Koopa, who in the 7 hells are they? Meddling adventures, I'd wager. However, they did change this fight. Muggles guard to arms! Defend the king, Koopa! You may be able to recognize a certain song in this piece of music. I guess we will see. I will definitely mention it at the end of the episode. So in the beginning of this fight, it's just going to be groups of Nopon? Sure. They actually kind of remind me of Nopon. No, groups of Muggles just doing random stuff. Mark Reign of Death. There we go. Puxy Pico with a Shaggy song. Furryfoot Kupelikip. These names are pretty good. There we go. And we have the Palm Burner and the Tail Turner. You'll be blown to smithereens, Kupo. Tower time! You have to stand in these and take the damage, or it's gonna explode and do even more damage. Or you can just kill the boy who's summoning. That is also an option. Boom, 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 boom. Hail to the Kupo! I mean, king! We get good King Moggle, who's going to use Memento Moogle. And we get this beautiful song. Moggle guard, to arms, your king has need of you! Oh shit, that's poison. It's poison! Whoopsie. I'm holy. A lot of bright white damage. And some like relatively random mechanics in this fight. At least in a normal version. I do actually like the normal version of this fight. Like the way they changed it in any case. Originally it was like not really that interesting. But now at least you can deal with like more different types of mechanics. Which can be quite intriguing indeed. Just giant freaking AoEs. Hearken to the song of my people! And we have Twin Palm Meteor. Needs to be taken by 2 people. Or something of the sort. This music is so good. And there we go. Rip, mate. Melancholy Mockfork. Let me go and commentate you. And I guess I can roll for this stuff. You did it, Kupo! You did it! Good King Maga 12, may his mighty soul rest in peace, is no more! I shudder to think what might have happened had you not stopped the Moggle's guard when you did. Thank you, Lynn. Perhaps now they'll come to their senses and stop playing at fairy tales. Rest assured that the chieftain will have choice words for them too. You should go tell Puknipak that the king is no more, Kupo. She's with Raya-O at Camp Tranquil. You can relay the news to the chieftain. Nod. Right. Do I dare believe my ears? Good King Moggle the 12th, may his magnificent virtue serve as an example to us all, has fallen? All Moggle kind owes you a debt, Kupo. Oh, and I sense Raya-O wishes to congratulate you as well. I shall let you two speak without fear of interruption. Your bravery in service to the Twelfthwood and her Moggles shall not be forgotten, Lynn. My sister will doubtless wish to hear the tale of this great victory from the mouth of the woman responsible. Pray return to the Lotus Stand and treat her to a full account of the day's events, while the details are yet fresh in your mind. Right. Now, I think this is from Palace of the Dead, which is actually something that I should also go and probably do that quest. I'll go and do that maybe at another. Depends on like if I have a good cav, I would say. It's not that long of a quest either. Just some more story about it. Okay. Now I'm kind of wondering, I don't know how I unlock the extreme version of this fight. Since I was maybe thinking of doing it in this episode too. Hello. The Elder Seat here is expecting you, madam. May I show you in? You may. Good day. Then you are returned to us, unharmed and victorious. Thus have I 2 reasons to be glad. Yet many questions remain unanswered. If you would be so kind as to oblige me, I would fain hear all that occurred in Thornmarch. Then it is as we feared. The king really is a primal. But he really isn't, is he? I mean, the Moggles don't worship him, for one thing. He's not even a god to them. That doesn't sound like any primal I've ever heard of. Then mayhap the fault lies with the definition. The fact remains that through a combination of the power contained in crystals and the force of their collective faith, the Moggles called forth a being that by right should not exist. Moreover, when slain, said being left no corpse, the ether which compromised him, instead being scattered to the 4 winds. According to the accepted definition, he may not be a primal, but the mode of his manifestation was in every aspect the same. Which means... Ascians. This whole business reeks of their handiwork. Kupapapa, they said he was a masked man who had taught them to... who had taught them how years ago, but Gridani has no shortage of masked men, and I never thought to question. Confound it all! How many more will they ensnare with their tainted gifts? Too many, I fear. So long as there are paragons to stir the embers, fools to build the pyre, and the crystals to feed the flames, ever and again shall we suffer primal visitations. A somber thought, but a salutary one. My heartfelt thanks, then. Already the information you have provided has proven invaluable. The Grand Serpent Marshal and I have much to discuss. Oh, before you do, my lady, I was hoping you might finish discussing that other matter. The matter of which you speak has even now been settled. The Scions shall not want for support. We shall be glad to send additional supplies to Revenant's Toll. We knew we could count on you, my lady. While Ida and I remain to discuss the particulars of our arrangement with the Elder Seats here, mayhap you could return to the Waking Sands and apprise the antecedent of all that has transpired? Nada. Right, I am going to look up... Also, this freaking fork. Does the fork extend? It does. Nice. So yeah, you have the Moggle weaponry that you can technically use, I guess. But I'm not going to be using it because I don't really like the aesthetic of it too much. However, I will use it and desynthesize it, since I am a crafter, and I can do that. And there is a chance that by doing this, I can get some rare items. However, my desynthesis level is not very high, so I don't really expect to get anything. To be quite frank. Also, I want to take a look at how I unlock the extreme. Thornmarch. Extreme. I like how people are looking up Thornmarch Extreme Mount. It doesn't drop a mount. One of the reasons why that's an extreme that we don't really do that much. Right, unless if it is in our books, as they say it. Let's see. How do I unlock this? Required quest is this. Okay, so it's in the Adder's Nest that I need to be. It's probably after this quest that I'm gonna be able to unlock that, I would think. So I was correct, I do need to be in the Adder's Nest. I forgot to block the chat, like an idiot. It is good to see you hale and healthy. Lynn, I received word from Ida and Papalimo that you had felt good King Moggle the 12th, but I had hoped to hear your version of the tale. So it was as they said, summoned with the same methods used by the beast tribes and taught by the Asians. Though unfortunate, this incident did at least serve to remind the Elder Seer of our usefulness. Her offer of additional support could not have come at a better time. My thanks, then. Okay. I'm gonna get this quest done. Hello, can I please get this quest? The Gifted. Owing to the tireless efforts of all concerned, we are, at long last, ready to bid farewell to Vesper Bay. So as to avoid drawing undue attention, we shall make the journey to Revenant's Toll in small groups, departing at irregular intervals. Lest you doubt, it is still my intention to conduct further operations openly, but on this particular occasion, the need for caution overrides all other concerns. To move north as one ponderous caravan would only serve to invite attack. It seemed only right that I should be the last to leave, and I would have you remain with me until the end, Lyn. Upon my departure, the Waking Sands will formally cease to be our headquarters, and the premises will be given into the care of Urianger. I sought to relinquish the property, but he was quite adamant, and I had not the heart to disagree. These walls have borne witness to some of the brightest and darkest moments in our Order's history. Mayhap it is best that we do not forsake them entirely. Urianger shall remain here and devote his energies to studying the nature of primals. By the grace of the 12, he will one day discover the permanent solution that we have sought for so long. Of course, he will not be alone. Adizay shall continue to work closely with him as well. Should they require our assistance, I have their assurances that they will not hesitate to contact us. Speaking for Urianger, would you inquire of him if any tasks remain undone? I cannot escape the feeling that I have forgotten something. Something important. Thou art ever welcome, Lyn, but I require no assistance. Pray take thy leave unburdened by concern for my well-being. Verily thy countenance bespeaks a desire to quit this place without further delay. Mayhap thou thinkest this chapter of our tale concluded, that these halls should rightly be consigned to the annals of history? A man's eagerness to seize the future, how readily he doth set down the past. Full many a proud pioneer hath bravely ridden into the great unknown, only to find there the banner of his ancestor fated by the eons, and still man glorieth in his discoveries. 'Tis through his pride that wisdom doth ever give way to ignorance, while they who lurk in shadow remain hidden, lost no sooner than they are found. Yes. Do not be offended, Lyn. Thy conduct hath ever been beyond reproach. Despite thy surpassing strength and all thy many victories, thou hast never been so convinced of thine own greatness as to imagine thyself above the failings of thy forebears. Mayhap it is the echo which hath opened thine eyes to the lessons of history. Would that the same could be said of... Ah! Whence came that cry? The solar, to forfend the antecedent. Nod. Lyn, you must... You must have a headache. You must have sudden migraine. Tell me, Louisois, would you have done the same? Louisois Leveilleur was a remarkable man, wise beyond mortal measure. Would that I had met him prior to his passing. An Asian here? How? How readily you see. You are indeed a gifted antecedent. But you are not like the others. Your robes... Gifted, but ignorant. Yet I shall not judge you harshly. The fault lies with your forebears. It has been millennia. Mine are the robes of an emissary. Unlike he who came before, I have no quarrel with you. He You speak of La Habrea. La Habrea is a warrior. He fought, he fell. He may yet learn from his mistakes. Then he is still... Come, I only confirm that which you already knew. There is no cessation, no oblivion, only expulsion. You... what are... Ready when you are, my lady, if there's nothing else. Is something the matter? I feel the same way. After everything that's happened here, it feels strange to leave, but I'm sure we'll soon get used to Revenant's toll. Well, I'll let you say your goodbyes. Take as long as you like, my lady. We shall depart whenever you're ready. It is only to be expected. She lacks the gift and the knowledge both. To her, we are indistinct. I do not understand. Shadowless, fleshless, formless. What truth there is in each tale is diluted by time and telling. Knowledge dictates expectation, and expectation colors perception. Thus did she perceive naught. So it is with all but a chosen few. Even you, when young, could not yet see with eyes unclouded. You know nothing about me. Nothing. The gift grants you clarity. It grants you focus. With it, you may in time come to see us as we are, rather than this crude approximation. La Habrea did not think so highly of the Echo. La Habrea is wrong about a great many things. The Echo is indeed a gift, albeit one you have yet to master. And if we did? There would be no strife between our peoples, for we would be of one mind. I leave as I came, in peace, antecedent. May we meet again as friends. Wait, stay where you are. Ah. Mayhap I was indelicate. 'Tis a mercy she shields her children from his grace. With such resolve. Was it also by her hand that you survived the Ardor, I wonder? Teleports out of here. Nothing personnel. I don't know. I take it there's no need to explain. Save your concern. He did me no lasting harm. Whatever his intention was, it was not to kill. I heard a cry. What happened? Are you alright? You look faint. Do you need to lie down? I could fetch you a flask of my special tonic. Oriange, send word to the students of Baldazian. Tell them to scour the archives, the forbidden tomes in particular. If there is any reference to an Ascian robed in white, however oblique, I would know of it. An Ascian, my lady? Was that what gave you cause to cry out? I did but moments ago glimpse a figure clad in white set forth from the waking sands. Yet Ascians are wont to employ teleportation magics. Why would one be so brazen? I know not and care not. Find him, Lyn. Turn every stone in Vesper Bay if you have to. Pray attend me, Tataru. Me trying to use my mountain here. Yeah, it's not really gonna work. Oh. I thought it was in... Well, I guess it's over here. The quest is over here, apparently. I thought it was in... the Serpent's thing. Whatever. Amongst Moggle kind, the legend of good King Moggle doth tell a wise and magnanimous ruler, Alas, the entity thus summoned put the lie to this imagining with his brief and desiccatingly unpeaceful ray. It was most disturbing for me to learn that then that the Moggle's guard have once more succeeded in placing their manic potentate upon his thorny throne. Jesus. Only with the Asian's guileful intervention could they have called the king back from the ether with such haste. I'm afeard that, as was the case with Ifrit and his primal ilk, the ritual thus employed hath empowered the Avatar with a strength far beyond that of his previous incarnation. As ever, it falls to thee, to the blade born of light, to banish the Paragon's dark ambition from our realm. The 12 only know what dire power doth corrupt the saviour of these gentle forest folk. Thy name has been called, Lin. The more moderate faction of the Moggles have rejoined with the Order of the Twin Adder in an effort to open thee a path to the good king's domain. I bid thee make haste to the Adder's nest, and once more pledge thine aid in deposing this royal myth made flesh. So yeah, this is to unlock the extreme fight, which we will of course be doing. But I'm first going to be doing this particular MSQ quest, because this seems like more of a dire situation. It's like a wolf, but dire. It's like a situation, but dire. I am told that you are the warrior of light, but I would know for myself. I shall walk north, and you may choose to follow. Know, however, that you will be waylaid if you do. You may even perish. Should you survive, we shall speak anon. You are being judged. Nice. Holy! That should be enough. There we go. You will be judged. It's actually like a line from one of the Alliance raid boss, if I recall. Right. You are being judged by a gruesome gargoyle. Casually using Stone 4. Oh yeah, baby. It's actually for stuff like this that I really appreciate being a high level, because it allows you to deal with these like trash encounters a lot easier. There we go. You are being judged. An Asian conjure, huh? What the fuck is that frog doing? What the frog doing? You're dead, son. You're dead. Remarkable. Truly remarkable. I thank thee, or I thank you for granting me this indulgence. None save she who bested La Habrea could endure such an examination. Have the laws of man grown so twisted in my absence that it is now permitted to lay hands upon an emissary? You bore witness to my audience with the antecedent, did you not? Then you know how I acted only in self-defense. I realize the same cannot be said of La Habrea. Even amongst his brethren he is considered unique. Nevertheless, I cannot wholly condemn his misdeeds, for through them we have discovered you, one so strong in the gift that she could cast us out. Your mother favors you still, that much is plain, but surely you feel it. Her influence wanes, and her strength shall soon be spent. These lands, these people, this world, all shall soon change. As it was, so shall it be again, as it should always have been. Doubt my claims and question my motives, if you will. Only believe me when I say this. I am a Lidibus, emissary bearer of the word of the one true God, and we shall meet again. Oh, no, yeah, no, okay. Why does this keep happening? I've never had this happen to me before. Where the game just like pauses for a second after a cutscene and then moves onwards. That has never happened before. It could be like an ARR thing, because once again, I haven't done this content in like long. Definitely close to a year. And it wasn't that memorable to begin with. Except like this encounter though. I was very intrigued by this encounter. With Elidibus. Right, back to Minfilia in the Waking Sands. Thank the gods you've returned, Lyn. After you left, I began to worry that I might have sent you to your doom. I take it our visitor proved elusive? Beg pardon? He was waiting for you. What did you do? What did he say? As it was, so shall it be again. Of when does he speak, and of what exactly? The words of this Elidibus portend much but reveal nothing, save perhaps a measure of disdain for La Habrea. I'd hoped for answers, but it seems I shall have to be content with a wealth of additional questions. Voids and blood. Nice. Let us set aside the matter of this Ashen one, Ascian, until after we have completed our move to the Rising Stones. There is but one final favor I would ask of you before I depart. I believe I mentioned before that my father was a member of the Alamegan resistance. The truth, however, is more complicated than that. As far as the Empire knew, he was their spy. He maintained the deception for nigh on half a decade, furnishing the resistance with vital Imperial secrets while feeding his paymasters subtly conceived misinformation. When he died some 15 years ago, my father left behind his journal, which I have closely guarded ever since. It contains every shred of information he and his agents could steal on what they believed to be the single greatest threat to Eorzea, the Primals. Its wisdom has guided me through the years, though there is much within that I still do not understand. It is my hope that Urianger will fare better. Tell him to treat it with care. It is all that I have left of my father. Oh yeah, I also totally forgot to like mention the song that plays in the Moggle mock fight is based on This Is Halloween from The Nightmare Before Christmas, I think. Yeah. You know. I thought thee departed. To what dost thou still linger? The legacy of Minfilia's father, who perished in the parade incident of 1562 when a Gubu broke free of its magical fetters and ran amok through the streets of Ul'dah, contains a wealth of stolen Imperial's research on the Primals, as well as other information which has yet to be deciphered. The father's final bequest, the daughter's lifelong labor. It is no small thing to surrender such a cherished memento. Well can I imagine the antecedent's pain. Upon mine honor, I swear to spare no effort in the study of these materials, lest my lady's sacrifice be in vain. Lyn, this is Minfilia. Forgive me, but I could wait no longer. I have departed for the Rising Stones. If you have yet to... Once you have given the journal to Urianger, I bid you come to the 7th Heaven in Revenant's Hall. Totara will be there to show you inside our new headquarters. Assuming you have already attuned to it, you may wish to make use of our new Aetheryte in Revenant's Hall. After all, it is right on our doorstep. This is kind of like a joke, because in the original version of like the ARR story, there were so many more little like side quests. There's so many more quests in general, and a lot of the time the game expected you to go back to the Waking Sands. But as we know, the Waking Sands doesn't, or like Vesper Bay doesn't have an Aetheryte, so we'd have to go to the Aetheryte in Horizon Dawn now, sir. What the hell? In Horizon, and then you'd have to walk all the way over to the Rising Stones. This is how these things were introduced. The Vesper Pay Aetheryte tickets. And now that we have like reached the point past like the original Realm Reborn story, the game is now making fun of it, kind of, where it's like, oh, now we have an Aetheryte in front of our door. So yeah. It's interesting. I personally haven't, like, played the game in that time, so don't really know the true struggles, but apparently it was pretty freaking horrible. Oh, Lynn, you're here. Good, good. We were all wondering when you'd show up. As I was just telling your restive receptionist here, I am pleased to inform you that all the documents have been prepared and all signatures signed. The Rising Stones is officially yours. Splendid. From this day forward, I will spare no effort in seeing that it is as welcoming and comfortable a home for us as the Waking Sands ever was. That said, this is all somewhat intimidating, is it not? So many unfamiliar places and unfamiliar faces. Most of the men and women you see around you here in Revenant's are adventurers who come and go as they wish. I dare say that should make it easier for you to go about your business here. And it shouldn't hurt that Lynn here has already made something of a name for herself. Here. That's it. Isn't that so, Lynn? Whatever. Yes, nod. Happy nod. Why, that's wonderful to hear. Rest assured that this receptionist will work just as hard to see our efforts do not skip a beat despite her relocation. And with that, Lynn, I do believe it's time you officially announced your presence to everyone inside. The antecedent and the others will surely be overjoyed to see you. Time to enter the 7th heaven with my friggin' horse. Welcome to the Rising Stones. Well, it is certainly spacious. Today marks a new beginning for the Science of the Seventh Dawn. For today we declare our independence. We shall henceforth be beholden to no nation, but serve all of Eorzea's people, proudly and openly. But this does not mean that we will sever our ties to the Eorzean alliance. On the contrary, the antecedent and I shall endeavor to strengthen them. Rest assured, however, that we shall not permit political considerations to influence our decisions. Our identity remains unchanged, as does our cause. We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and our single purpose is to safeguard the future of Eorzea. That was an entire freaking patch without any voice cutscenes for Eorzea. My voice. Christ. A moment of your time, Lynn. I would speak of Elizabeth. Pardon the intrusion, my lady, but the matter which bringeth me will admit no delay. Mine every attempt to contact the students of Baldesion have been met with silence. No one will respond? How odd. Allow me to try. No response. Surely they would not ignore us. They have never yet, my lady. I fear we must assume the worst. No. I will not believe that. An outpost, perhaps not their headquarters. Their wards are beyond circumvention. Had they come under attack, they would most certainly have raised the alarm. None could penetrate their sanctum unnoticed. But for those who lack the gift and the knowledge both, oh no. Contact their agents in the field at once. If aught has befallen the students of Baldesion, they may know of it. Though the thought of it pains me, until such time as we have evidence to the contrary, we can but assume the worst. Accordingly, we must needs seek another source of information on Elizabeth. It is possible that that others in the homeland, are possessed of such knowledge. Be fairly warned, however, they are unlike to yield it unconditionally. Do what you must. Yet another unforeseen and unwelcome development. What could be next, I wonder? A visit from a crimson-clad Ascian, perhaps? Or Orcher, or Puce? And which of our allies will then fall silent? For a time, I thought we had gained the upper hand. When you shattered the Crystal of Darkness and cast out La Habrea, I dared to hope that we had found a way to rid ourselves of the Ascian menace. But I was wrong. He endures and he may yet return. Upon that point, I have no doubt that Elidibus spoke true. Yet there must be a way to destroy them utterly, a way to spare this world their unholy machinations. I dare not consider the alternative. There are forces at work we do not understand, Lyn. I discern them all around, in disturbances too great and too numerous to be dismissed as mere coincidence. Doubtless the Paragons are involved, but how and to what end is far from clear. I do not know what will come, but I do know that we will rise and meet it as one. Ah, my stalwart hero, your face is a picture of resolve. I know that you will be ready when the time comes. With luck, however, that will not be for a while yet. Pray return to your private affairs with my blessing. Should anything arise, you will be informed. Krile, where are you? Is that a Final Fantasy V reference? Oh, more cutscenes. Your intercession was not foretold. You object? We question. Our plans are in motion. Your intentions unclear. They survived the 7th Order and are stronger now in the gift. Does that not intrigue you? No, it does not. Serve as you will. So too shall I. We labor not at cross purposes. The wisdom of his plan shall become apparent in time, when the veil is lifted from their eyes, and at long last they see. That's a camera spin and a half. There we go! A realm awoken! As we get nothing. Okay. I thought we may get like a title. Usually like for MSQ things, at the end of like a patch or whatever, you tend to get a title. Or like every now and again. So, let's go and unlock the extreme, and then the first thing we're gonna do next episode is do that extreme. Some people might be thinking like, man, you're gonna like, aren't you dreading that extreme? Nah. It is honestly fine. Just like, honestly, like every single extreme. There's not a single extreme that I would say that is like ridiculously difficult. I guess it does depend like what you're doing, because doing stuff like minimum item level changes the fight entirely. Lyn of the Silence, glad I am to see you. I assume you have been apprised of the situation regarding the Moggle monarch. After your previous disposal of the king, Kuplokop approached the Moggle's guard and attempted to convince them of the error of their ways. Unfortunately, it appears his efforts at persuasion had rather the opposite effect. The royal sentry reportedly flew into a frenzy and focused their righteous indignation into a new summoning ritual. Mayhap it was the unwavering intensity of the Moggle's guard prayers, but the king has returned to the forest, enveloped in an almost blinding aura of majesty. Kuplokop tells us that this daunting maniacal avatar has now taken to calling himself a great King Mughamog XII. Suffice it to say that the elder Receipts here is willing to condone the necessary act of regicide. For the safety of all who dwell within the Twelvewood, it has been decided that the king must fall. A certain member of the elder Seatsier's personal guard has already escorted Kuplokop to the ward that shields the monarch's domain. Those among us with the ability to see Muggles are often in high demand, but considering the urgency of your mission, our leader felt it best to expedite matters. Pray make your preparations and set out as soon as you're able. Kuplokop awaits you in the Bramble Patch in the East Shroud. Daha. With one stone. Oh, I knew you'd come. At least I was hoping, Kuba. Not long ago, I had a stern word with the Moggle's Guard about the dangers of turning pleasant fairy tales into disturbing reality, but they insisted that the intimidating force that is good King Moggle Mark the 12th, may his scepter of judgment ever command our respect, is exactly the sort of savior we need. The Moggle's Guard are afraid, Kubo, afraid of how the forest has changed, afraid of the never-ending conflict, afraid that we Moggles have no place in this new world. I'm scared of all those things too, but the thought of unleashing a royal menace upon the Dwellswood scares me even more, Kubo. Please, you must deal with them firmly before this goes too far. A measured thrashing. Of course. Nothing too brutal. You can enter Thornmarch here, through the tear I've made in the ward. Take care. Good fortune, and in the meantime, I'll go and let the others know that the great King Moglemark the 12th, may his reign end with a minimal bloodshed, will be vacating his throne. Goodbye. Not. I love that. Duty Finders will update with a new regular duty, Thornmarch Extreme. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Just That. Well, I was playing Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, jeez, why am I yawning? And next episode we're going to go and at least begin with dealing with Thornmarch Extreme. And then we are going to go and continue our magical adventure on the MSQ. Actually, no, we will not do that. I will first do the quest that I got at the end of Palace of the Dead. Goodbye.